indiscriminate targeting of innocent civilians is gonna ruin your cause, and it's gonna fail. There is a time and place for violence, and then there's a time and place for hearts and minds. And when you're trying to win over your own country, the time and place is hearts and minds. Just fucking saying. Moving right along, now that we've covered getting anti-woke, I've been talking about voting with your money. We just need to show them that anti-woke stuff is the stuff that you want, right? That average middle of the road, not the fucking insane woke garbage. You need to do the same thing by stopping your kids from watching Nickelodeon, because they've just turned into some insane woke garbage. Like, I'm talking about fucking insane woke garbage. Check this out. Parents outraged over Nickelodeon segment that teaches kids about environmental racism. Nothing is scared. Environmental racism, really? This is propaganda at its best. The environment is not racism. Critics accuse the program of trying to indoctrinate younger audience with this propaganda. It's fucking true. Nickelodeon marked Earth Day this year with a segment dedicated to teaching its young audience about environmental racism and the impact it has on climate change. Racism does not affect the stupid fucking climate. Climate, everything going on the Earth or whatnot, it don't give a fuck if you're black, white, yellow, or polka dotted. CBS News correspondent and host of the special Jamie Lucas began by questioning why some U.S. cities have accepted the dangerous living conditions more than others, because they have higher crime and shitty leaders that they vote in there, because the people suck ass. What do these cities have in common, Lucas asked? They're examples of... No, they're not examples of environmental racism. They're examples of Democrat-controlled fucking fuckery. A form of systematic racism where minority and low-income communities are surrounded by health hazards because they live near sewage mines, landfills, power stations, and major roads. Fucking move. Nobody told you to fucking live there. You don't have to live there, you stupid cunt. The special cause quite a stir on social media, with critics accusing the program of trying to indoctrinate younger audiences with propaganda. It's fucking true. I mean, it really is. Remember the good old days when the network just aired Salute Your Shorts, Hey Dude, Rugrats, The Adventures of Pete and Pete, Rocko's Modern Life? It didn't peddle this left-wing drivel. Sad, truly. Townhall.com senior editor Matt Vesper wrote on Twitter. Honestly, what's the market for this? It's a children's cartoon show. Nothing is sacred. If you have kids that still watch Nickelodeon, turn it off. They run the racial and lefty BS all the time, aimed right at your kids. They're brainwashing fucking children. Is that the controversial segment was posted on Nickelodeon's official Twitter account, but the reply feature was disabled by the network for fear of backlash. Critics observed. Yeah, it's because they knew they were going to get roasted, because this is absolute trash. You cowards, Nickelodeon. At Daily Wire reporter Ryan Shavada said alongside the tweet. People at Nickelodeon mentioned can reply. The learning of... Oh my god. Only the people we want to talk on this can talk on this. If the kids that's still watching Nickelodeon turn it off, they run the racial and lefty BS all the time. America and bread at your kids. Used another... That you just fucking said that. Daily Caller Communications Director Logan Hall questions honestly what the market for this children cartoon show. He wrote, nothing is sacred. I remember when Nickelodeon didn't indoctrinate our children. Me too, bruh. Me too. Remember when none of this did. Learning the meaning of state propaganda and social control were another. The incident marks the second time in less than a year that critics charged the program with crossing the line. In June, Nickelodeon suspended its programming to air a message that simply read, I can't breathe, for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, accompanied by the sound of a person breathing. Who's hiring these people, man? Take your activism the off the television. People don't... They have enough... When they watch the news, that's where they get that... When they go to watch cartoons, they want to escape from that. The message was a reference to George Floyd, who died with police custody after former Minneapolis teacher kneeled on Floyd's neck for 8.5 minutes. Sheldon was found guilty of murder last week by Minneapolis jury. Yeah, a jury that said that they only said guilty out of fear for their life. And they found him guilty on all three charges, which means they found him guilty of an intentional and unintentional murder at the same time, which is kind of not possible. So he's probably going to get off an appeal, but that's just it. I mean, he is guilty. 8.5 minutes, that's negligence. You should have accessed that dude's house, realized that he was having a drug overdose problem, and probably got medical attention to him sooner, but instead you just sat there 8.5 minutes and didn't even check him. That's fucking negligence. You do that to a fucking enemy combatant overseas, unless all your guys are on board, you're going to fucking Leavenworth. So, like, you should just fucking bow the fuck out and take that L. I don't know why any of these cops are risking shooting black people right now. If a black person was attacking another person and there was white cops or cops in general and I was trying to stop him and I went to go attack that black person, I just hit him with 5 tasers and be done with it. If he dies of tasers, at least I can show that I was trying to fucking tase him. Because no matter what you do, good, bad, or indifferent, if you attack and kill these people, you're gonna get fucking demonized for it, even if it's justified. And don't get me wrong, there's plenty of unjustified police bullshit. And all you pro-police people who have been fucking enforcing these anti-constitutional lockdown edicts and shit all goddamn fucking COVID. Just fucking say it. You don't need immunity from violating people's rights in the law if you don't violate people's rights in the law. Cops don't need qualified immunity. They can do their fucking job. They do their fucking job to the letter of the law, following respecting people's rights and not violating the law, and then they never have to fucking worry about that. You should be. Oh man! If you need immunity from the law to enforce the law, you shouldn't have a badge. You should automatically get life imprisonment for violating the law while trying to serve and protect it. I don't care if it makes your job harder. Do the right fucking thing, or take your fucking badge off and get a new goddamn job. I mean, it's that fucking simple. America's sick of this on both sides. We're sick of your fucking police crap. We're sick of your fucking socialist Marxist crap. We just want to be America. Free America. Black, white, yellow, polka dotted. And constitutional rights. Freedom. And it's like I said, it's time to vote for our money. Boycott Nickelodeon. Don't let your kids watch Nickelodeon because it's just propaganda trash. And we shouldn't be fucking supporting that. Go woke, go broke. Let's make it happen. I'm just fucking saying. Oh, moving right along. We're going to address fire and talk about this real quick. Candace Owens, one of the heroes that we need. I don't always agree with everything she says, but she's definitely on the right side of history. She works for Turning Point USA. She has her own show, I think, it's on the Daily Wire, I think. I'm not sure which platform hosts her, but she has her own talk show and such. She's doing something right. She's encouraging people to sue in defense of their children because we have a whole bunch of crap going on, and we're going to get into this right here. So this Fox News. Candace Owens encourages parents to sue schools for ruining children's lives. And they are ruining children's lives. Our children are not at risk of contracting this disease. They're not at risk of sharing this disease. We have proven this scientifically. So why the fuck are we ruining their childhoods? They need to be socialized and to be well-developed children. We're causing mental health problems in our children. Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk blast educators for allowing cancel culture in America's classrooms. Blackout author Candace Owens and Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk joined Sunday Morning Futures to discuss the impact of cancel culture in schools. Owens called out educators for allowing systemic bullying in schools, while Kirk encouraged adults to protect young people's rights. Bill Maher, Sharon Osbourne rail against cancel culture snitches as they talk at the talk show. We don't need re-education. Charlie Kirk, this is why are you adding? I don't want to leave the site. I'm finishing watching you reading your damn news. Charlie Kirk, this is a cultural fire alarm. I mean, we have young people that want to start groups or even write an essay like about Candace in support of their country, and they're being accused of things they not only do, but things they don't believe. They don't do okay. Adults in situations. Where are the adults that are going to start to stand up and realize that the next generation that's standing up for freedom in our country is worthy of protection in this situation? It takes courage to be a young conservative. It's time for adults to start protecting young people's rights to organize and speak their mind. I agree, Charlie Kirk. This fucking shit is garbage, and it gotta end. This is some 1984 totalitarian Hitler garbage, and we need to unfuck it, and we need to unfuck it immediately. Candace is Candace Owens, this thought process that we keep seeing that conservatives are not allowed to exist, that being conservative is backwards and it's wrong, and especially when it comes into the education system taking part in this, right? Smearing and labeling their own students, these students having to transfer out of school. This is systemic bullying that's happening, but worse than that, it's propagandist. We're seeing what we're seeing happening right now in the schools is they're saying that this is the acceptable way that human beings must think. This young girl who you brought up picked me, a black person, for Black History Month, and she was accused of being racist. I mean, this is so twisted and perverted and wrong. It would be funny if it wasn't so cruel and led to her actually having to transfer out of the school. This is a problem. Charlie, you are correct. Parents have to start speaking out, not just speaking out, but suing. You have to start suing the schools because they're ruining the lives of young children. So that's just that. Quick and simple. Easy, not one and done. But the two of them are right. If somebody decides to write an article on Candace Owens, a black woman, for Black History Month, she's a black woman, it's Black History Month. Martin Luther King, same thing. Malcolm X, same thing. That guy's trying to be woke. Malcolm, one of the original wokeness. Do you know he fucking hated you liberal assholes too? He said you were the real racist pricks. I mean, that wasn't verbatim, but it's pretty much what he fucking said. He said you were worse than regular people because you don't think people can live on their own, that they think that need your help. You're trying to be that white savior crap. Your children are your children. Politics should not be in school. If teachers are sharing their politics with their class, they should be arrested and removed and having their teacher license removed and revoked because it violates the National Code of Ethics for educators. People have a right to their political opinions. You're there to teach them math, history, science, and shit. You're not there to teach them how to think or what's right or wrong. You're not. That you're brainwashing propaganda bags. And I know you are, because a friend of mine is a teacher, and he complains about the stupid fucking things, classes you make him go to try and fucking make his viewpoint like this. It's all utter garbage. All utter intersectional wokeness crap. And we need to be like fucking Sam Wilson or Captain America and Falcon and Winter Soldier, and we need to pick up our proverbial freedom. We need to reclaim our freedom, or the proverbial shield with the fucking American flag on it, and we need to beat Antifa with it. You beat Antifa with your freedom by utilizing your freedom and not letting them fucking scare you into doing all this crap. Bring your kids to the park. Let them hang out with other kids. They can't get you sick, and they can't get each other sick. So stop being fucking afraid like stupid fucking garbage. You're fucking garbage. You're all fucking child abusing pieces. If you do not allow your children to socialize with other children right now because you're afraid of this disease, you are a child abusing piece of fucking trash. It's that fucking simple. I'm just so glad the Supreme Court is ruling on gun. I'm hoping we get a ruling on the gun rights, because this rule will be so broad that we'll be able to carry everywhere in the goddamn country, concealed or otherwise. If it goes yes, and then when that happens, people are carrying, and Antifa can't do this garbage anymore, and maybe the world will get fucking better. And don't tell me that fucking limiting guns is going to make it safer, because the places with the most strictest gun controls in the United States of America have the fucking highest violent crime. And places like where I live, New Hampshire, or Vermont, or Maine, that are fucking predominantly fucking pro-gun, are the safest fucking places to be. What's that fucking tell you? That tells you when you have a fucking well-armed and well-trained populace, you're safer than when you don't. You're not taking my firearms. You're fucking not putting masks on my kids. And it's time we unfuck this mess. Antifa, Nickelodeon,